Welcome back. My name is Darren Thomas, and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at how we can find fraud in text data with Python. So let's go ahead and see what we can learn. So a lot of times when you are working with data, you don't have a ground truth that indicates whether there is fraud or not fraud. There's a lot of analysis that goes on to determine what is fraud before you can start running your different algorithms to try to predict it. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to take text, we're going to take emails, and based off of certain phrases or terms that are found in the emails, we're going to use that knowledge to suggest that a particular email might be an instance of fraud. Now again, once you complete an analysis like the one we're doing right now, you would have to, again, take your results and then have a subject matter expert confirm whether or not fraud has taken place or not. So there's a lot going on here before the fun stuff of running the different algorithms, as I've already mentioned. So let's go ahead and start grabbing some of the different tools and toys we need. So start with libraries. The actual analysis is not that complicated. We just need pandas and NumPy. It's not a very complicated analysis. It's really just an if-then statement at the end of the day. But again, there's some steps we have to follow first. So we start with pandas and NumPy. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. All right. Now we're going to take a look at our data here. So we're going to load our data in the first line using read_CSV. And we are going to, of course, look at one of the columns inside that, and that is the clean_content, because that is the column we're going to use to search for instances of fraud. So let's go ahead and run this. So this is the actual text of the emails. And so we're looking for clues here whether or not there is fraud. Now there are other columns in this data, but we're not worried about the date and the time and other things that are found inside this data set. You'll see those in a second. Now we're going to just do a preliminary analysis where we just make something called a mask, and we kind of get an idea of what might be there. So what's happening right here is we're creating an object called mask, and we're going to pull the data from the clean_content column, and we're looking for strings that contain cell Enron stock. That's what we're looking for. And we're just going to ignore if NA is there or not. We're not worried about that. And so this is going to give us an idea of instances of fraud. And so we run that, then we display the data. And so this is kind of giving us an idea of different instances of fraud, just looking at this. Now this doesn't mean much to you. I'm just kind of showing it to you so that you have an idea of what's going on. But we've kind of filtered our data by using this mask, basically. And so now we're going to do a more extensive search. What we're going to do now, and you're going to see this in a second, it'll make more sense when you see it, is instead of just looking for one term, which is what we did before, we're looking for several terms now. So in our search for dictionary, I guess you can call it our list, we're looking for Enron stock, sell Enron stock, stock bonuses, sell Enron stock. We're looking for all these different terms. And so now we're creating an object called filtered emails, and we're going to pull from the same column, clean_content, string that contains, this is like or, in other words, Enron stock or sell stock or stock bonus or sell Enron stock. Then we're doing a join for this search for object. We created this up here, and then NA equals false. And then we just print it, the first 5, using dot head, the method there. So here we go. Now this is showing all the columns. And so you can see we got message ID, we got from and to, we got the date, we got the content and the clean content. Content and clean content are the same thing. It's just that this is cleaned up. Again, the purpose of this video is not to go over how to do that, but just in case you're wondering. And so now, we have a sense of the various emails that may be examples of fraud. So we're very close to the end now. There's not much left to do except to flag something if it is fraud and to not flag it if it is not fraud. That's our next step. So we know what might be fraud, but remember, we want to use all of our data, not just the data that is fraud, We want to include all our data. So we have to take our previous step and reapply it this time, but we're going to create a new column that's going to tell us if an example is fraud or not fraud. So watch what we're doing here. So we're still working from the original data now, and we're creating a new column called flag. That's what we're doing. And so where the clean underscore content column contains the information from the search for object, which we made previously up here. And of course, this just means, or this letter right here. I sometimes forget the name, but it's right above the enter key on your keyboard. And so when this stuff is true, put a 1. When it's false, put a 0. And then we're just going to print the head so you can see it. And so, the head always gives you the first 5 examples. And so that's what we did. So now we have all of our data, but when it is considered fraud, there's going to be a 1 in the flag column. And when it is not considered fraud, it's going to be a 0 in the flag column. Now, to get an idea of how many examples of fraud we have, we're just going to do a simple values count, and we're going to be done here. So we run this. So we take the flag column and we just count the values and we print it. That's it. And so you can see right here we have 1,776 instances that are not considered fraud. In other words, when you look at the content of the email, it does not contain these phrases up here. Enron stock, sell Enron stock, stock bonus, sell Enron stock, etc. And then we have 314 examples of what might be fraud. In those examples, they contain these phrases right here. Enron stock, sell stock, stock bonus, sell Enron stock. That's what's going on right there. Now that we have an idea of what might be fraud and what might not be fraud, we need confirmation. So we call in our subject matter experts and they start looking at some of these emails and they start saying, yeah, okay, this is looking strong here. If they're not satisfied, we might have to tweak what we did. So for example, we might want to search for more terms or perhaps search for fewer terms. It's all based on context. And as you get feedback from your subject matter experts, as well as the performance of your actual machine learning algorithm, you can begin to make adjustments to improve the strength of your model. But such examples as that are beyond the scope of this particular video. So what we're going to do now is kind of summarize what we looked at and conclude the video. So in this video, we looked at one way that you could potentially search for and find examples of fraud using text data. And so we started, of course, by loading our libraries, preparing our data. There wasn't a lot to prepare, just load it. And then we made an initial mask just to kind of see, what might be happening with the data, to kind of explore it. And then once we made that initial mask for filtering, we made a much more extensive one right here, where instead of just looking for one term, we look for several terms from this list right here. And of course, now that we have an idea of what might be fraud, what might not be fraud, we followed it up by making an actual column that flags fraud with a 1 and things that are not fraud with a 0. And again, all this up here is mostly the same, except it's kind of, a where statement now. And so if this condition is met as true, you're going to put a 1 in the flag column and a 0 if it's not true for that particular example. And then we just did a simple values count to see how many examples of fraud and how many examples of non-fraud are in this particular data set. And then once this step is complete, we will continue by working with our subject matter experts on whether or not our current search is adequate for developing a model. Because once you have these 1s and 0s for flag and non-flag, you can start to make your machine learning algorithm. You can start to make adjustments to that, but you must have ground truth to begin with. And that was the whole purpose of this particular video, was how to uncover your potential ground truth in order to develop a more advanced model. So I want to thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. You take care, and we'll see you in the next video.